Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to go over basic steps of changing your oil in your vehicle. Today I'm working on my 2018 Ram 1500 with 5.7 Hemi. The steps outlined here today pretty much going to work on any vehicle. I got the Fiance Subaru back there. Steps are going to be similar, or even a motorcycle. So with that, we'll get right into it. So first step is really to collect your tools and your new oil. So I've got 7 quarts of 5W20, a new oil filter, and then really the only tools that I use is a wrench or a socket of the right choice, right size, and then an oil filter wrench. These ones I really like. I've had them for a while now. It's a Chanlock brand. They make some with straps on it. Just really depends on what you like to do, how you like to do it, and really access what can you get into the space where the oil filter's at. A couple more things. When you're doing these oil changes, go ahead and check other fluids. You can clean out your air filter. Just give your vehicle an overall look over. Just make sure everything's up to par. Last thing you need to do is break down on the side of the road. Do a little preventative maintenance, look things over, might prevent you from sitting on the side of the road. So when we're on the vehicle, first thing I like to do is check my oil. This gives me a good indication of whether I'm losing oil somehow, whether it's leaking out somewhere or burning it. Another thing, I guess, oil change intervals are kind of up to you. And how much you want to do it. I think manufacturers nowadays recommend 7,500 to 10,000 miles. That seems pretty high to me. In my truck, I like to do it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. The Fiance's car, we do about every 5,000 miles. Or my motorcycle, I do it about every 2,000 miles. It just really depends on how hard you push the vehicle. You know, my truck sees more towing and hauling than a car that sits on the highway 90% of the time. So checking your oil will just give you a good indication of what's going on with the engine. You can also look at the oil off the dipstick. Even though you're going to drain it out, you can always get a good idea of what your engine is doing and how healthy it is just by looking at the oil. So I'm going to check the oil quick here. Alright, so I am right in the center of my hash marks, which is good. So with that, we're going to go below and drain some oil. Alright, so we got to locate our drain pan, which is right here. There's a bolt coming out from behind it, kind of down and backwards. That is our drain bolt. So this is a 13 millimeter. We're just going to go ahead and loosen it up. And we're just going to spin it out, make sure our drain pan is underneath. I always spill some, so it is what it is. Alright, now that is draining. I'm just going to wait for it to drain all the way out, and then we'll go ahead and close it up after this. Alright, we're just about done draining here. Couple tips on your drain bolt. Some of them have a magnetic end on it, and that is for if there's any metal shavings in your engine, it'll collect right on that drain bolt, and you can see that, and that's a good indicator that something is not right in the engine. So when you tighten these, there is a torque spec typically. It's usually not very high. Just don't wrench on it so hard that it breaks off, and don't make it so loose that it doesn't tighten down. So some come with an O-ring. I would recommend replacing O-rings. This one has a rubber gasket built onto the bolt. So I'm just going to clean it up and put it back in. just like that, we will move on to our oil filter. Alright, next we're going to get to this oil filter. If you can see it right up top here. Like I said, this one's kind of tricky to get to, but I can get a hand up in there. I was talking about the oil filter wrench earlier. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. It really depends on who did the oil change before. These don't need to be super tight. You should be able to get these on and off by hand. So I'm going to go up here and see if I can spin this off by hand. But sure enough I can, because I did the oil change last time. So before I get too far, I'm going to pull this drain pan over here. What sucks about this one is it's going to drain all over my axle, my tie rod here, and my rack and pinion, and this one kind of gets everywhere. So we're going to back up and get this drain pan under here. There's the old filter. So now we've got our new filter here. What I'm going to do is take some oil and actually lube up the new gasket on here, and then we're just going to put it hand tight when we tighten this up. Alright, that's hand tight, just here more. Now I'm just going to go ahead, get everything cleaned up down here, and then we'll go ahead and add the new oil. So now we're going to go ahead and add the oil. Like I said, this takes 7 quarts, so I got one big 5-quart here and 2 small ones here, 2 small 1-quart here, and my funnel for my filler there. This is actually an old Lucas Oil bottle. These work really good for funnels if you cut the bottom off. Otherwise, just any other funnel will work. So here we'll go, just add it up. And just like that, we got everything filled. Put our cap back on. So after that, I just like to just think through everything, make sure I got drain plug tightened down, oil filter tightened down, oil is added. After that, we're going to go ahead and start it up, make sure it's got oil pressure, let it run for a couple minutes, and then we're going to come back out and just check the oil, make sure it's within our limits on our dipstick. Alright, so we're going to start the truck here, and we're going to watch this gauge right up here, which is our oil pressure. Just like that, goes up to halfway. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Yep, so we are good. We've got 53 pounds of oil pressure as we sit, so that is perfect. We'll just let it run for another minute or two. And then go ahead and check our oil. Now that we ran it for a couple minutes, I'm going to check oil one more time. And just like that, we are right in the center there, so we are good to go. Alright, so final steps, just clean up after yourself, clean up any spilled oil, clean off the engine cover if you spilled any oil on that, and then yeah, if you guys got any questions about anything, just let me know, type them down in the comments, reach out to me somehow, and we'll get you answered. So thanks for watching.